We're gonna cast some tier 2, which is the middle of the road tier in skill-wise, where both me and Ugnas are. And we're gonna cast some tier 2 games from Operation Indecision from Samyang Fire versus Passion Daddies. And the matches will be on Match Point, Talcross, and Clayfields in that order. They're best of 3, so game 3 might not be played every time, but as always on my stream, games are spoiler free, so we do have 3 replays, even if there wasn't no game 3. And with that said, I think we are good to go. Let me see how my score is looking. With my primitive overlay, let's reset that to 0 to 0. I've not gotten into setting up the proper overlay yet, but maybe one day. Towards the end of CPL, I'll sometimes have an overlay. You know, we all have dreams, and my dream is to have an overlay. Okay, so without any further ado, we are here into our first game. And we do have the yellow Protoss spawning in the bottom right. ID1 or Mr. Wizard. And Ugnas, do you want to introduce our third player?
Oh, and we have Merry-Go-Round in the top right. I'm not familiar if he has an alternate tag, maybe on Discord, but...
I am not sure. I think he's Merry-Go-Round also on Discord. Or I think I've played him from the Discord server, but I'm not really sure.
You know, it's going to be fun because I've played with ID1 or Mr. Wizard. I've played with several ZVPs against him, so I'll try not to be biased in my Passion Daddies fanboys.
Maybe you know a bit about his strategy. You can reveal.
When we played, I generally just Hydra busted him, so I didn't see a lot of the strategies. So we'll see. Maybe he got good practice against me holding Hydra busts.
Were the Hydra busts successful most of the time?
Some of the time. I think we were almost 50-50.
Alright, so if you're a Zerg player, maybe going Hydra bust again ID1 is not your best bet. Albert Shulgan is saying that Merry-Go-Round does indeed have an alternative name on Discord. Do you know what that is, Albert? So you were right. Oh!
Yeah, because I don't recall seeing Merry-Go-Round in any of the channels, so...
I actually now remember where I know him from. I casted... No, I casted some of his preseason games.
Ah, okay.
And I think he was... Yes, in the preseason he was tier 3, so now he's tier 2, so...
Oh,
we see some advancement from him. I'm kinda excited to see how he goes.
We're seeing a pretty standard Forge expand. I know a lot of people recently, especially in the games I've played, I've been seeing a lot of Gate expand.
Yeah, Gate expand did grow in popularity quite a bit because, well, we had Probe being annoying and denying the touch for quite some time, but looks like now the Probe is dead. But yeah, I think Gate expand did raise in popularity, mostly because Zerg players started doing a lot of 12 catches and a lot of greedy builds, so an early Gate is an easy way to punish that. We do have
these lings though couldn't quite get through.
Yeah,
there's a good probe pull from ID. I do like making more lings when your natural hatchery is delayed, because when you opened Overpool, as Merry-Go-Round did, you have the larva, and if you make the lings, you can usually get to the Protoss right as the cannon is warping in. But ID did a really good job of pulling probes and making sure no Lings got in. So that was pretty good trade for the Protoss.
Yeah, and I mean he killed the scouting probe, so I feel like the play there was to just wait with the Lings outside of vision until the probes are pulled back, and then go. Especially because Mr. Wizard here is creating one like hell of a gap with his SimCity.
Yeah. It's a tricky SimCity on match point, I believe. Yeah. I don't do a lot of Protoss walls. Losing a few Lings.
It is quite a tricky one, and there's honestly no good wall ends on that map, really. Especially if you're on the like top side, but thankfully he's not. So the walling here is fine if you go pylon, then gateway and forge right next to the pylon. So it's gateway on top of the forge, and it's kind of tight. It's like 2 or 3 zealot wall. I can't remember.
The merry-go-round here is up to 4 hatcheries now. It's taking the mineral-only expansion. I think we should see Lair coming in pretty soon. He went for Ling speed for Lair.
Yep, and I think going for Ling speed did pay off, because this is the 3rd probe that ID1 or Mr. Wizard is sending across the map, because the previous 2 got sniped all the time. And
I think Ling speed is almost done, but not quite.
Well, there's one thing that Protoss players really hate to do, and it's playing in the dark, but thankfully Thankfully Merry-Go-Round was not very vigilant with his denial of scouting, so Mr. Wizard did manage to sneak to that natural expo and saw the Hydra ending.
Right.
He couldn't go as far as seeing the main hatchery to see that it's being morphed into a lair, but I'm expecting to see some like 2 to 3 cannons go down right now.
Right, especially because there's only 1 drone at 3rd. I mean, this could easily be some sort of 973 or even just a straight Hydra bust. Although, actually you see range is going down first, and the only reason you would ever do that is because you want to pick off the forge before +1 finishes.
Yeah, but Mr. Wizard is not going for any extra cannons, which kind of makes me worried about him, but the merry-go-round is placing a creep colony in a very interesting position behind his minerals. I don't really know what's that. Could be a spore colony?
Maybe. We don't see any lair tech going down.
No.
So maybe it's just a safety creep call. I've definitely lost games where 1 zealot gets to my main and I forget about it. I don't pay attention.
Yeah, it will be a spore colony. I mean, it's... Oh. It's a spore colony that assisted to kill that Corsair, so...
Might not have gotten that Corsair, so maybe...
Yeah, look at that timing.
As a Zerg player, I would gladly build, 1 spore to kill the first Corsair. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I would gladly make that trade. So maybe this is a new meta. Maybe I should look into it. So we see 4 zealots moving out. I don't think Merry-Go-Round knows about this. I don't think he has any idea this is coming.
No, his Overlord that was close to the Protoss base did get picked off. So he's really caught in the dark, but
luckily he had some units at the 3rd, so it's not too bad.
So that was a nice. Huge drone pool. Quite a massive.
So this is a little unfortunate because +1 attack already finished for Protoss. So going Hydra range, I feel maybe was not worth it.
Well, he got the Hydra range, but he didn't do anything with it.
I mean, because you could have Hydra speed right now instead of the Hydra range. And I think that would be a lot better for fending off these zealots and just gaining map control in general.
Yep, definitely. And there's 6 zealots that are on the other side of the map. But I feel like
it's being so annoying.
Yeah. Very doing the right thing. Very splitting the forces, and as you said, it's like these Hydras are a bit too slow to get into the defensive position, but
so this is actually really, really tough because Hydra speed isn't even started yet, and I think maybe Merry-Go-Round forgot about getting Hydra speed.
There's a DT that is trying to escape that natural Sim City and go swap at the Hydras, but it's being blocked by its fellow zealots.
So I think this is a really important tip for any Zerg player who wants to hit the Protoss wall. You always have to bring Overlords with it, and because you won't have Overlord speed generally at this time, you have to really preemptively send the Overlords to prevent the DT from getting out. Although this DT has not yet headed out.
Yeah, but it seems like Barry didn't really do a very good job at stopping that 6 initial zealots, and if you look at his name, he doesn't have any
Hydra
drones.
Without Hydra speed, it's just so hard to stop these zealots, and I think these zealots is so much damage. It has it's 7 kills on the last zealot.
The last of the 6 zealots will die, but they did way more than they were supposed to.
So much damage.
It's 10 to 39 worker count, and that's huge. I mean, that tells the whole story. So
he has no drones in his main. Well, he has one still valiantly gathering gas.
Yeah, the only place that he sort of has drones is his natural picks. That's it.
Oh, this is so tough. Merry-Go-Round is just going pure Lings, and I think he's going to try to finish it. He knows he can't come back.
I mean, yeah, at this point I think that's his only option, but we have Storm already done, and there's almost
so
5 Storms. And
unless maybe if he picks up these Templar before they can storm. Oh. Okay. Good dodge on the first storm.
The storms are a bit late. That second storm was a whiff, only hitting 2 Hydras, so maybe Merry-Go-Round still has a chance. Because like he has much.
Merry-Go-Round basically right. Merry-Go-Round has to finish the game with this army. So really good storm dodges so far.
Yeah, but that last storm killed all the Lings, and with that, I'm not sure if we can have. Oh, that is a big storm. That is a very big storm, and the cannons from the third are also helping in this defense. It's an interesting way to position cannons at the third, but in this specific scenario, it's paying off.
Yeah, cover 2 bases. Oh, this is so tough for Merry-Go-Round. He was really invested on that attack.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't really have any other choice. And if these Lings go into the third base, that will be a disaster. But
also,
I think
Merry-Go-Round.
Yeah, go.
Merry-Go-Round has no upgrades, and Protoss has +2 attack. So I think honestly, just these zealots are going to be enough to finish it.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. That's was GG. Down to that initial 6 zealots, which I honestly couldn't believe how much damage these zealots did.
I think forgetting to get Hydra speed was really, really tough for Merry-Go-Round. You just can't catch up to the zealots, when they come in. Yeah,
it was a bit of a blunder, but we should have a. Hopefully, merry-go-round also thinks. Well, also did the same thought process as we did, and he's thinking, "Oh, if I just get my Hydro speed earlier." Yeah, Albert's saying it's so hard to micro slow Hydras versus Zealots, especially Speed Zealots. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, you basically can't micro. The speed zealots run you down.
Yeah, you just need to have the numbers if you're skipping speed, which is not really recommended. Okay, so you can go ahead and introduce the players, and now we'll update the scores. It's 104.
Okay, in the 1 o'clock we have merry-go-round. Our Browns are, and 6 o'clock we have ID1 or Mr. Wizard in the green Protoss. And I really like this color setup, actually. I feel like brown Zerg is the best Zerg to play.
Brown Zerg is very good.
Do you have a preferred Protoss color?
I'm gonna go with green, actually.
Green?
So, yeah, I think
this is perfect, yeah.
That is a very good game. Showcases everything.
We're gonna have a great game. The colors have already decided it for us. How is the SimCity on Taucross for Protoss?
In here you can do the standard. You have two options for the spawning position that Mr. Wizard is. You can either do the standard porch on the left and gate on the right, or you can try to get your gate at the top, at the top of the choke, and then you have your forge under the gateway.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah, Starcraft is a bit of a tricky map to wall with the process. So personally, I tend to avoid PvZ on Starcraft if possible. But
in my experience, it's a very powerful Hydra bust. For most of the Protoss walls I've seen, I think it's very difficult to set up a really good Hydra wall.
Yeah, well, the one good thing about Taucross, so let's review the whole map and talk a bit about that. The one good thing about Taucross is that there are no high ground bases, so Zerg cannot basically just have two lurkers at the high ground choke.
Right.
And a spore colony, and basically that base is invincible. So that's the good thing about Taucross PvZ if you're the Protoss player, and having both of these things combined, that I usually try to avoid this matchup, but if I do, like if you get to the mid game, it's I think more Protoss favored than the standard maps. I tend to open with some quite the aggressive builds on Taucross as opposed to better against it.
Yeah, I agree with that. So we're seeing the Protoss probe be super annoying here. Really delayed the natural hatchery, almost killed a drone, actually.
Yep. And yeah, it's having a free reign over that main, so these links are gonna try and do a run by again. But yeah, that's not really the best way to position your gateway.
I feel like if you just went for the run by, it could have been really good.
Yeah. Definitely if for I think the other tier 2 Zerg players and the tier 3 ones, if you see that the Protoss SimCity is not guarded by any units and you can just run by, I think it's way better to do that almost every time. Killing the cannon is fine. You can kill the cannon before it morphs with 6 Zerglings. If you manage to start hitting the cannon before it's morphing in. But once the cannon is there and you only have 6 links, you better run them to the main, because chances are you have 4 links in the main, and 4 links in the main are quite the nightmare for Coach-Pupil.
So annoying. So annoying.
Especially if he gets speed after that. Oh my god. And looks like that scouting probe is gonna die. So merry-go-round managed to get that. Or was it Mr. Wizard just not microing it? Can't really tell.
I think I didn't. I think it got caught in the corner.
Yep.
Yeah, it just ran away on its own. Well, this is interesting. So he's taking the natural of the 11 o'clock position with his 4th hatchery.
I think that's sort of a sneaky base. He's just hoping to not get scouted by the Protoss player, because at this point of the game, I think if Mr. Wizard sees that base, there's almost no way for Berry to defend it.
Right.
Because it's too far away from your other hatcheries. Mr. Wizard's trying to get into a nice position behind the minerals, but you can't really do that on this map.
Yeah, not quite there.
Well, I like what he's doing. He's sending a Zell to the natural, he's sending a Zell to the 3rd base to just be annoying and force.
Yeah, and it's also very important to know what the Zerg is doing here, because I don't think he's seen the layer. So
nope.
He has to be super careful about any kind of speedling all in or Hydra bust. Oh, we lost the drone, but there.
Yeah, and he's now denying the mining of the 3rd base. But yeah, so sometimes it's not about what you see that the Zerg has, but what you don't see that the Zerg has. And he sees that there are not many drones on 3rd, but I think if he really wants to get the whole picture, he should scout what's at the natural. Because if you scout low drone count on the 3rd and low drone count on the natural, the Zerg is up to something.
Of course. But I think his scouting will be thrown off a lot because he doesn't know about the 11 o'clock base.
Yep.
So he's going to think it's much more all-in than it actually is. In fact, he's moving out again with these 4 zealots, 5 total.
And the first one that got picked up, it's the 6 zealots again.
Yeah.
6 zealot dead squad. He does not have +1 quite yet, but I think +1. No, it's halfway there. And with that Sunken and Zerglings, these zealots shouldn't really do much damage. Let's see.
Yeah, before zealots have +1, I think Sunkens and just producing lings as you go is plenty to pull them off.
I mean, some drone drill there would have been nice as well, but it's fine.
It was perfectly calculated.
Oh, but look, he did force 6 more lings.
More
So,
lings,
mission accomplished.
yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate.
But he still doesn't know about these Hydras.
Mhm.
And Hydras are dangerous. But they're slow again.
Yeah, we're not seeing Hydra speed.
And we're seeing a super fast Queen's Nest. So...
Yeah, very interesting. It's sort of I actually have no idea what that would be.
I think it'll be a rush to Hive, but... With these units that he currently has, it doesn't really make much sense to rush Hive. Like, there's a valid strategy if you want to go Hive rush, to just go for your standard 5 hatch with the Spire.
Right.
Then skip Hydra then altogether, get 2 evolution chambers, go only for link upgrades. And then as soon as you have Hive, get Cracklings. And then
we're seeing a heavy Zergling investment here.
Yeah, that, and That's what I'm saying about this build. I think it might be effective, but honestly, with these Hydras and everything else, it feels like quite delayed.
Okay, so he only made enough Hydras just to push off the Corsairs, and then it looks like he's going pure Lings from this point.
Yep, not a bad way to do it. These Lings really need their upgrades.
I agree, especially because Protoss is +1. Carapace for the Zerg is about 80%. 80%.
A High Templar got picked off, and these Lings, instead of going for that gateway, just run by and in the main and in the natural, they can kill so many.
Yeah, there's no detection, but there's just so many Lings coming in. I mean, if you look at the minimap, it's just...
Yeah.
Oh, well, a lot of those are Overlords, actually, but...
I think you can honestly just let 1DT swipe away, because he has so many Lings.
Right.
But he
Right, so the Protoss is actually in huge trouble here. I mean, if the Lings just keep coming...
Yeah, but... So he almost killed the gateway with his Lings that were in the main, but I think they would have been way better if they were attacking the main mineral line.
I agree. Still see more Lings coming in. Already got a decent amount of probe kills too.
Yeah, we can see that Mr. Wizard is kind of giving in under all that pressure, and he's floating 2k minerals right now.
Yeah, it's really hard to stay on top of your build when there's just non-stop Zerglings flooding in.
But I think with these Corsairs killing so many Overlords, he might be able to hold on to the aggression.
Oh, he lost the +2 upgrading Forge. These cannons are going to go down so fast.
I think Barry made it.
I think that's it, with slow Hydralisks.
Yep.
So maybe this was the same. He had the same idea the first game. He just got pushed around a little bit from the early Zealot pressure.
Possibly, but yeah, he did go for the Hydras and Ultras build. I think it's definitely a valid strategy, so well done, Barry. I think if you do this, you may want to skip the Hydras, go for a Spire, and definitely throw to the Resolution Chambers. But we saw that was effective. Okay, so scores tied up 1-1. Let's see who's gonna take it. We have some Passion Daddy laws in the chat and see. I mean, we're definitely not biased casters, just by the fact that we're Passion Daddies.
not biased at all.
Nope. Okay, so here at the top we have ID1 as the Protoss player in red. And at the bottom we have the rounds spawning in orange. What do you think of Clayfields?
I like Clayfields. It's sort of it's an easy third for the third base for everybody, I guess. Honestly, I generally just Hydra bust most Protosses anyway, so the maps to me don't matter.
It doesn't really matter what the map is.
It just comes down to me more of the tile set, you know, so I can stare at the environment as I attack move Hydras in. So
I really hate what was it, volcano tile set or that lava thing?
The black one, yeah. I'm a big fan of that tile set.
I mean, of course, if you play for it, you should be.
There was a map, Outsider, where you had, if you mineral jumps in the back of your base, there was a base with double gas, and you could do so many weird builds on Outsider. I loved it.
There was Outsider, and there was that other one which was recently in the map pool which also had that lava tile set. It was sort of a standard one, but you had no third
Ground
with gas.
Zero, maybe.
Yes, Ground Zero it was.
Ground Zero, yeah.
You cannot see Borrowed Lurkers. Borrowed Lurkers on that map. That's why I hate
Even
it
I can't see Burrowed Lurkers, even though they're mine.
Yeah, I mean, bring an observer.
I
It
even
doesn't
have
make a
lurkers
difference.
there.
Very going for. Is he gonna hide a base at the middle? No, he's just going for a cross scout.
Yeah, we might see another hidden base at the natural.
Maybe. I'm not sure. I mean, there is some reason, like, there is some merit to scouting cross if you're a reserve player with the drone because your overlord scouts one of the bases. But I still feel it's better to not scout cross. What do you think?
Well, especially on this map where the naturals vertically are so close to each other, I think you should generally you want to just scout. Well, I guess generally you send the overlord to the natural at the 11 o'clock. So it's an interesting scouting pattern. Yeah, and Merry-Go-Round just has no idea where the Protoss is. You see the Lings going in the wrong direction.
Yep, that is exactly why you don't want to do that cross scout. But Mr. Wizard, that kind of positioning is very dangerous because it doesn't reach far. So if the Zerg player runs by, you can both harass your natural mineral line, but they can also very freely run into the main base.
Right,
because that one cannon next to the pylon there, it's okay to defend at the start, but then once like Lings get by, it sucks.
Right, it's just not a good angle, not a good coverage. See again, 4 hatch opening for the Zerg. So I think we're going to see a similar sort of playstyle from Game 1 and Game 2, with the slow Hydras and fast Hive.
Yeah, he just doesn't know that Hydra speed upgrade exists. but that's an interesting place for your 4th base. I don't see Zerg players taking it that often on this map.
Right, normally I feel you would take the main or probably the natural or the main, but there can be some advantages to taking that first. Firstly, I think it's going to be very difficult for Protoss to scout the 4th base of the Zerg.
Yep, we are throwing that Hydra then again. Yeah,
but I think the big difference.
Albert saying in the chat 6 and 12 bases rarely get scouted. Yes, they do, especially the ones that are further from your main base.
Right.
So
the big difference between Game 1 and Game 2, I think it all came down to how much damage the early Zealots could do. And we see the first 3 already coming out here, so I think that's going to be the most critical point in how this matchup goes.
Yeah, but this time it's 3 Zealots. So I'm not really expecting that to do that much damage. But we never know.
It was a decent position. On the ramp, the drones.
Yeah,
the drones didn't really get a lot of shots in.
Okay, so we don't see any brutes at all. And drone drills can be extremely deadly.
I think drone drills are critical to stop the early zealots.
There's a Corsair already with 1 kill and looking to pick up a second Overlord, and there are no Hydras in production. So I think
Merry-Go-Round made all Lings.
Yep.
So he has nothing to protect these Overlords.
Mr. Wizard using quite a bit of his micro in that attack, floating 600 minerals, now throwing 2 gateways, Templar Archives and a pylon to sort of make up for the fact that he was not really spending his money. But
this Corsair is up to going to get 4 kills. This is so annoying as the Zerg player. I mean, it's just doing so much damage.
Nexus worth of kills. That's huge.
And only now being on supply block.
Yes, sometimes if my first Corsair manages to get, if I'm not planning to go for Corsairs that game, but my first Corsair manages to get more than 1 kill, I will definitely go for a second Corsair. Because like, if you see something that the Zerg is skimping on, I think as a proto player you should definitely try to take advantage. So let's see that Lynx. Okay, I thought the Lynx were gonna run by. But
so it's a lot of Lings, but actually because there's no carapace and +1 finish for the Protoss, I mean, once the Zealots start stacking up, the Lings are just going to be shredded. They won't stand a chance. We see carapace starting up just now.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long time before these Lings can fight the Zealots.
And look at that, we have Hydra range upgrade again, but no speed.
Yeah, same all 3 games. Same range.
Seems to be very trademark.
No speed, range only. Hydra.
Speed Hydras are way too strong. He's giving the Protoss player a fighting chance.
Oh, that's a very noble Zerg. Oh, in Zergling's spot, the Zealots that were out of the base. Does he see these Dark Templar? He does now.
Yeah. These 3 Dark Templars were definitely a good choice given how much damage these early Corsairs did.
Yeah, I totally agree. Although, the Zerg does have spore colonies at all of his bases, actually. So
I mean, sure, maybe the Dark Templars can't really harass the main mineral lines. Let's see if they're gonna try to do that. But just having these Dark Templars, you have map control over, and I don't know how. Oh, he scouted it with a Ser. I was gonna say, I don't know how Mr. Wizard knows about this 4th base, but he's currently bouncing on it.
Yeah, without a 4th base, things are gonna start to look tough.
Definitely. And Zer has no other option but to give that 4th base away.
Yeah, there's no way he can defend against +1 speed lots.
Yeah, and he made that wonderful unit called the Lurker and had a couple of them on the ramp.
The high ground Lurker with the spore colony. It's your favorite.
I mean, it's so effective, man. It's unbelievable. What was it? I think 2 weeks ago I was playing... who did I play? I can't remember my opponent, but what he was going for every game was Lurker Scourge.
Lurker Scourge, just turtle
going so defensive.
Every game, yeah.
Yeah, like game 1 was about 50-minute long PvZ on playfields, actually.
On playfield.
Yeah.
Playfield is generally does end up with much longer games.
Yeah, so in game 2 he tried to do the same thing with the Lurker Scourge, but I would have had none of that, and I went for some very early Zealot aggression to hit before his Lurkers and Scourge.
Right. So he actually does have Hydra speed this game, I think. But unfortunately, oh, Carapace did finish. He really needs to hold on to this third base, though. This is just may have been too little too late.
Yeah. Well, now the Corsairs are dead.
Yeah, it gets all the Corsairs.
We don't have a Spire, otherwise, with all that money, it could be very deadly.
It's true, it could be a surprise. What, like 15 Mutalisks? Could be.
But now Zerg's back on 2 bases, and he, like, this Barry's trying to do what Zerg players do and just sneak other bases while being attacked, hoping that they won't get scouted.
Yeah, but this army is going to be so difficult.
Yeah.
Hold off, there's, what, 4 storms? 4 storms available? Oh, and all the drones go. It hurts
And
me to
now
see
the Hive is
Zerg
going
just
down as well.
decimated.
Yeah.
The Hive is very tanky, though. Surprisingly, very sturdy compared to a hatchery.
Yeah. It's twice as hard to kill. Or maybe even
I've stalled for a lot of time, but
I'm not sure what's Hive's base armor. Does it increase every time?
so I know different buildings have different armor for Zerg, I think.
Oh.
I know sunken colonies have 2 armor, I believe. I might have to double check that. I don't know if Hives actually gain armor. But that was GG.
It was a good game, and Mr. Wizard does take a game for Daddies. So, leading 1-0 in the score.
1-0 in the score, looks good, looks good.
1-0 is definitely good. So, let's see what other series we've got. We've got Konata versus Zookeeper, which I think is a TVZ.
Yeah.
Konata didn't actually upload his replay, so let me throw some shade on you while we're at it, Konata. You should try to do that consistently. But thankfully, not all Lemon had the replays from Zookeeper.
Oh, okay. Yeah, as long as one of the people just upload.
We had that, but then he sent me only game 2 and game 3. But now we have all the games, so we're gonna treat ourselves with a TVZ that I already gave away. That it's a 3-game. Let's go back to reset the score, 0-0, and start the game. TVZ, what do you think of TVZ on Match Point?
So actually, Match Point is my favorite or second favorite map of all time to play ZBT on.
Because Mute is so strong?
Right. It's Match Point and Blue Storm are my 2 favorite maps, and it's just so much fun to micro Mutus on this map.
Blue Storm is actually a pretty fun map indeed. I agree.
Way back in the day, Jadong did a lot of 2-hatch Muta all-ins on Blue Storm and Match Point, and my favorite Muta micro game, showcase game, is Jadong versus Flash on Match Point, where there's some really good micro from both sides of both players. It's a really exciting game.
Was it from one of the...
I believe it's from
tournaments?
an MSL from maybe 2010, but I'm not sure. It was quite a long time ago.
Ooh, the Zookeeper and Konata did play top versus bottom, so you can either choose blue versus yellow or red versus blue.
Oh. I'm a big fan of blue Terran. I think it's a very appropriate color.
Yeah, I think it's navy, it's not quite blue, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, we have the Terran at the bottom, Konata, and the Zerk at the top, the Zookeeper.
Oh, I forgot to introduce the players.
Konata playing for Fashion Daddies, and Zookeeper playing for Samyang Fire. I think Samyang Fire are looking really strong this CPL season.
I agree. They've shown some really good games, really strong results so far.
Yeah, and I think they were one of the favorite teams according to the statistics that Snipe released a few days ago. Is it a week ago maybe? We see Zookeeper hesitating to take that extractor.
Taking some time. So we see the Terran took the early refinery, so we know it's going to be some kind of factory opener. It could be like a 1-1-1, or it could be like a 5 factory Goliath build. And for Zerg, it's so tough for me because playing against Mech Terran and playing against Bio Terran is so different. You really have to switch gears on the fly as soon as you scout.
Yeah, and with that new Goliath into Bio build, they really throw you off. Big
Yeah, the Golionic build. Although I feel like it's so difficult to pull out for the Terran. You don't see too much. So it's a standard 2-hatch from the Zerg, and 2-hatch Muta is standard, especially into mech, because the Mutas can always scout exactly what the Terran is transitioning into.
We have that SCV going down finally, but the SCV did not confirm that he's going for a lair, so... I'm not quite sure what Konata's response is going to be.
Yeah, I think you can almost assume, if you don't see a 3rd hatchery, that it's just 2-hatch lair. There are some like really wonky no layer builds, like a Hydra bust or something, especially if you know the opponent's going back. But
yeah,
it looks pretty standard so far.
I remember when I was coming back to Broodlore, which was about maybe 6 months after the Remastered was released, there was one of the major tournaments featured Flash versus J-Dunk, and J-Dunk did exactly that. No-layered Hydra Bust on match points.
Hydra Bust, yeah. I think I remember that game. So here the Zerg player is actually making more Zerglings, which is pretty... It's a big gamble into mech, because, you know, a Vulture can just kill infinite Zerglings. But if the Vulture goes down to the Sunken, then maybe this was the 200 IQ play.
That's a big blunder. That Vulture could have... Well, I think without speed, the Vulture is forced but can deny any scouting from the links, because Vultures are so microable. But once it has speed and the Zerg doesn't have any SimCity, it's pretty much like what Speedlings do to Protoss.
Yeah, so it's interesting because he got the Sunken Colony, and normally we see the Spire or the Hydra Den along with the 3rd hatchery all making a SimCity in the natural, to prevent like a 3 or 4 Vulture Speed Vulture run by. But Zookeeper is feeling pretty confident, and he still doesn't have a 3rd hatchery, actually. Oh, here it goes now. Generally, when you 2-hatch your Muta, you get the 3rd hatch before you start making Mutalisks. So
Yeah,
I think it's a little bit delayed.
But he has a 3rd Aspire and Hydrogen. I'm assuming that's why his 3rd was delayed a bit. That's where the money went. And we do have a Goliath build from the Terran, but... Oh yeah, so... Goliath range will finish quite shortly, and I think that's a very good timing, but there's only 2 Goliaths.
Yeah, the engineering bay is not even up yet, and this is really tough. The Zerg is continuously making mutas, and it's going to be so long. It's going to be so hard to get turrets up here.
Yeah, I think it will be worth floating some building over the
floating
over
the barracks over the ridge.
Over the natural, I think, or yeah.
Yeah.
Just so you have the vision, because these mutas are so deadly.
So against the factory Goliath builds, you can either choose Hydras or Mutas to hold the first push. And it looks like Zookeeper is going for the Mutalisk, which I think is the right call here because he saw the turrets were so late. The Terran.
Yeah, but that's only 5 mutas, 6 mutas now. Not quite sure how many things can do. I mean, they're doing what they're supposed to do. They're keeping the Terran in their pace. But with the Glad build, I don't really think that Terran wants to move out anyway. But maybe I don't know.
The Goliath build usually moves out around 8:30 with like a control group of Goliaths to pressure the Zerg. But here, I still think the Terran should move out. It's easier to fight Mutalisks in the open field, and I think he has more Goliaths than there are Mutalisks, so it would be a pretty fair fight.
Terran can definitely face the mutas with this build, but he needs some more turrets if he wants to leave his base.
For sure.
He only has like 2 turrets at both his mineral and natural and main. And we have also an armor from the Zerg from the Terran player, and no upgrades for the mutas from the Zerg. That and him starting the lurker aspect, I think, both signal that Zerg does not really want to stay on mutas.
So lurkers can be okay against mech because the scan is so delayed when Terran goes mech. But generally speaking, I think lurkers are really bad into most Terran mech builds. So I'm not sure of this unit composition coming up.
Well, lurker with Dark Swarm is, I think, effective against any composition.
Yeah, if the Zerg can get to Hive, then lurkers become very powerful again. Depends on if the Terran will pressure. And it looks like Kanada's slowly moving up these Goliaths.
What do you think of that Zerg style that Zero used against Flash on match point?
On which match?
Their most recent one from ASL.
Oh yeah. Where
it was Plague Hydra, I think.
Oh yeah. I mean, Hydras are just really good in general, I think, against Goliaths. And Plague is also, so good into mech. I think for Zerg, the discussion is always how do I get to Hive Tech? And how do I have enough gas to support Hive Tech?
Yep.
And after that, you can just kind of make up whatever you want. And if you have defilers mixed in, I think you do pretty well no matter what.
Yeah, it's about how many hatches can you get.
Right. So here's the first big
or
push.
How many gases.
So this is... It's gonna be... Oh, but the Terran has no scan. Never mind. I thought it would be difficult for the third
now
couple
lurkers
this,
are gonna be very effective.
There should be a science vessel on the way.
Science facility just
Somewhere?
completed, so there's no science vessel yet.
Yeah, this Terran army is so powerful that it just doesn't have any way of seeing these lurkers.
Yeah, this Terran army is now like a Protoss. Detection sucks. Okay, so all these lurkers plus the seconds are way more than enough to defend the third phase. Zookeeper trying to fight the mech army head on.
Yeah, the tanks are not sieged and all the Goliaths are spread out. The Terran army is just going to get picked off half and half.
Yeah, you should really try to avoid splitting your army like that, but we see as the reinforcements from the Terran come.
But losing all the tanks,
are basically. So yeah, the Zergler needs to. Oh, that's not really the correct retreat, but. So we still
Luckily,
don't have a science vessel on the way, do we?
Yeah, there's still no detection. There's no scanner. There's no science vessel. So actually, Zookeeper's he's just hanging out. There's really no pressure coming in. Looks like he's going to try to siege the mineral line, which is a good choice.
Yeah, but he does not have any vision because he doesn't have scans.
Because he doesn't have scan. You're right. Oh man, going against that choke point against the lurkers. Oh no, the last tank. Oh.
What? Kanata had 7 factories, infinite money, he just needed to...
He just needed to have scan.
Yeah, he just needed some detection. Well, that's 1-0 for Zookeeper.
1-0 for Zookeeper. I think that was a no GG, I believe.
Well, they did play top versus bottom, as we pointed out earlier, so... maybe it was in the Allies chat, but...
Got it.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was just a rage GG. It was.
I mean, it almost seemed like a rage quit because he was in an okay position. So
yeah, he didn't get scanned. He didn't get any vessels, even though his science facility was complete and his Starport had a control tower. He didn't have any academy though.
Right.
Okay, so let's see in game number 2, can Konata fix his mistake and get some detection going on? Yeah, losing these Goliaths was definitely not a pleasant thing, but he had... I think he was in an advantage, because even though Zergler had 4 bases, he was only mining off 3. So... definitely.
Also, the Terran upgrades were way ahead of the Zerg upgrades. I don't think the Mutas had carapace. And...
No, Zergler had no upgrades, and the Terran was going for for a 2-1 upgrade.
Alright, so here in the upper right, we have Zookeeper playing for Operation Samyang Fire, right?
Yep.
In the green Zerg, and then in the left we have Konata in blue playing for Tash and Daddies.
And yeah, Zookeeper's leading the series 1-0. And I think match point, Zerglers can do a lot of match point. Just because your main base is so big.
Right.
I think the worst bomb for Terran on that map is if they're at the 5 o'clock. So thankfully we didn't get the Terran to be there, but still in that main you can do so many things. I think my favorite to watch Zerg build on the map is if they go for slow lurker drops.
slow lurker traps.
Yeah, just because your
Oh,
base
that's
so
technology. Yeah. So on match point, actually, if the Terran spawns in the top right corner on match point, and they try to wall with their barracks, the Marines will come out on the wrong side of the wall. So you can actually go for Ling all-ins too, if you want.
I mean, oh yeah, I guess it both applies for match point and Starcraft.
So actually, we see Zookeeper going for a very different build here. He's going for 9 pool with gas. So it's probably going to be 9 pool speed.
I'd assume so, yeah. Given that there's no high ground on Talcross, I think that's not a bad call. What do you think?
The danger is on certain positions of Talcross, you can actually wall the choke leading into your main as the Terran with a barracks, I believe.
Oh, yeah, and I think...
I'm not sure about this position, but...
I think here, if you build a supply depot, it's a tight wall.
Just a supply depot, yeah.
Yeah.
Konada's going for the mech build again, same opening as last time, and we'll see if he can hold off these lings.
Yeah, Albert in the chat confirming that this is a supply depot type wall.
That's good to know, but if he doesn't know these lings are coming, it's gonna be too late.
Well, he saw the links because
he knows.
the DCV died. So he's pulling everything.
Oh, does he not know that he can wall this with the building?
Wait, where is he going? Where are these links going?
Oh, I think well, the Overlord saw the 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
Now they're going the right way.
I think it was just a misclick on the map.
So this is kind of dangerous for the Terran. Like I don't know if this is enough SCBs to hold. Oh, there's gonna be plenty of SCBs. Oh, can they get through? Oh, good micro.
Yeah, nice micro, and oh, that Marine is so exposed right now. I think he can do it. That SCV micro was also good at the end. Yeah, I think that's helped.
So we see the Zerg player going for a 1 hatchery layer build, which is really wacky.
So
I'm really excited to see
it
where
could
this
be
is
the
going.
slow lurker drop.
Generally, you build the Hydra Den halfway when the layer is halfway finished, but here we actually see no tech.
Well, yeah, but also here you don't really care to get lurker as fast as possible because you do need to get Overlord drops before that. But yeah, you're right.
It's going to be tricky for Zookeeper here. It's probably a Spire.
It will be a Spire and a Hatchery, I believe. But no, that drone...
No Hatchery. No Spire.
Oh, there will be a Hatchery. At the third base.
A hidden. I like it. So we saw the second wave of lings got immediately pushed out by the Vulture.
Yeah, that Vulture was doing the same things as Zookeeper's lings did.
Oh, he wasn't building a Spire, he's building a Sunken Column.
Yeah, let's see how the micro looks like from Conta. So far, not as good.
Pretty good.
And now he starts the micro.
Getting the surround? Oh. Close.
Vulture micro maps are one of my favorite maps. I don't know why. Not playing Terran at all, but just microing Vultures is so fun for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, they do feel very smooth.
Yeah, they are super microable. Being a Protoss player and having access to Dragoons, it definitely feels nice to have responsive units sometimes in your army. Yeah, because like, with Protoss, what do you have for ranged units? Dragoons and Reavers.
It's true, on the ground.
Both of these do love to glitch a lot.
Notorious for bad path.
Yep. Oh, Goliaths are also notorious for bad pathing.
So
But they can at least move shot.
Okay, so we see the Hydra Den going down now. I think this is so tough for the Zerg though, because he only has Zerglings that he can produce. He has nothing else. These vultures can definitely pick off a couple drones.
Yeah, Konata
Even putting down another sunken colony.
Yeah, but another 2 sunken colonies, but they are way far from everything.
Oh, there are just so few drones, and every drone loss here is just
that is
cataclysmic.
That is a very cost-efficient position from the vultures. Vultures are not great at killing buildings, but I believe if they focus down that creep column, they can kill.
Yeah, the vultures will get pushed out eventually, but he's not mining. He only has 2 drones mining this whole time. And he had to make 4 sunken colonies, which is a huge investment off 2 hatcheries.
Yeah, and the positioning of these sunkens is a bit off, but that sunken will finally finish, and that will be the end of the aggression. Oh, will it?
Oh, 1 final drone kill. Wow, 5 kills on that last vulture. All drones, I believe.
Theo had a position where the sunkens will not hit him, and he will have like drain over the mineral lines. But he did all the damage that he could hope for. He did way more.
Yeah.
But all these sunkens, I don't think.
Luckily, Sunkens are very good against Goliaths. So when the Goliaths start pushing, you might actually repel the first wave of Goliaths. But the Zerg is just so low econ right now.
Yeah, it's
gonna be
15 workers to 29 SCVs, and it's 17 supply to 40.
Yeah, there's just no tech for the Zerg too. There's no Spire, there are no Hydra upgrades.
Honestly, I think
road.
The only chance for Zookeeper in this game is if Konata again forgoes his academy and doesn't ever build a science facility, which so far
stopped by 1 lurker.
Yeah.
Oh, and we see lurker aspect coming in.
There you go. Zookeeper knows. But
and the supply is 21 to 58. This is really tough for the Zerg, but maybe these lurkers will come in clutch again.
Yeah, I am kind of surprised that he's moving out again and he's skipping detection given how game 1 went.
Well, I think he has a pretty big window here to hit before lurkers can come online. He didn't see any Hydras last time, so I think he might be able to find a good open. Definitely canceled the natural.
Yeah. If he manages, yeah, he did cancel that. I think he now thinks that he's way more ahead than he actually is because of that.
Because he doesn't know about the 6 o'clock.
Yeah, but
right.
Even with that, he is definitely very ahead.
Oh, and these poor drones.
I like
you can see the sunken colonies, yeah.
Yeah, I like him positioning the Goliaths behind the mineral line, so they're far from sunken range, but you don't really want to be fighting sunkens with the Goliaths.
No, not at all.
Maybe that's why Zookeeper made all these sunks. He was anticipating the Goliath.
Anticipating the main base Goliath run by.
Yeah. So. He knew I'm not gonna hold that hatchery, my natural anyway. That's why I'm gonna sneak that base.
So yeah, if Konata doesn't know about the 6 o'clock, then I think Konata's just actually gonna be fine, just not making any more moves. And Zookeeper could take more hidden bases, I think, and actually maybe claw back into this game.
And the 6 o'clock is looking healthy right now, so...
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, the Terran has 4 times the supply of Zerg right now.
I think Zerg is known to operate from a low supply count, but not that low.
This might be too large of a deficit.
But look at
There's just not enough
he's
larvae.
Not building academy again.
Oh no, the one hero lurker.
Oh, burrow lurker.
He's gonna burrow. Oh my god.
Wow. All these Goliaths are forced to go back now.
The one lurker.
Make an academy, man.
So for Zookeeper, larva is really the biggest limiting factor because he has to use all of his larva for drones, and he really just needs more hatcheries. He has so much money, and he could
building an extra hatchery now in his main. He is going for the natural expansion on that 6 o'clock base.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he has a chance, and now he has 2 hero lurkers, and
this is going to be an
I think
interesting...
Konata is just taking a challenge. No scan.
No detection run.
Yeah, I mean he's now getting mines, which sort of may combat lurkers. But he's going for
he's getting a science vessel here. He's getting a science.
Finally.
So with siege mode, I think even though he has no detection, I think Konata can just shut down the main base. If he just pulls up the tank a little bit, he can start taking down these Sunkens and then take down the Hydra. Then it would be so difficult.
Yeah, and let's see if Zookeeper used to be a Terran player.
So Zookeeper actually going for a Carapace upgrade, where against mech, almost always you see the Hydra attack upgrade, because the Carapace is not super helpful when the siege tanks fire on you.
Yeah, it's similar to what Protoss players do when they're forced to fight against mech, which is every single game almost.
99% of games.
Yeah, just armor upgrades are not that useful. Like, sure, they help with the splash damage, but most of the time against mech you just want higher DPS. And now we have that science vessel finally coming in.
Right.
14-minute science vessel.
The irradiates. This is going to be so hard for the Zerg, even though Konata has no idea of the 2 bases now coming up. I think losing all of your tech, it's just...
Yeah, I mean, there's so many...
Looks like he's just pushing forward, yeah. Doesn't even need the tanks, just muscles through.
He can afford to do that. Now with the power of detection.
Although, these sunken colonies really putting in work. I mean, killed so many Goliaths, but it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, the Goliath force is almost half. Oh, looks like Zookeeper used to be a Terran main. Even though his main base is gone, he's not gonna give up.
So Konata's probably wondering why there's no GG. He has to definitely start looking for hidden bases now.
Yeah, let's see what their action from Konata. I mean, he has to know.
He must know at this point that that something is weird, because Zerg should have been eliminated. Should have been eliminated.
Okay, let's see the reaction.
So this is almost like a new game, just with new spawning positions.
Yep, except it's the Terran from the last game. Yes, so he's not really vigilant on scouting them out. But... I mean, I think
Konata here is just he has to know that something is happening. But I think as soon as Konata finds the bottom base, it's just going to be over. This Terran army is so powerful with 1-1 upgraded. There's just no way off 2 base the Zerg can ever fight this kind of army.
I mean, I'm not blaming Zookeeper for staying way longer in the game.
Oh no, not
Because
at all.
it's a match point for him, but
Mhm.
it's pretty over right now. Oh, there you go. Finally a science vessel. 2 science vessels scouting for all the pieces. And
I
now
like
he
the
finds-
bottom left science vessel scouting, just in case there's a floating Zerg building in the corner.
Well, you never know.
You never know.
Maybe
now
Zerg got
he
very
sees- now
advanced.
he sees. Yeah, and Irradiate, honestly, I don't think he even needs Irradiate or Siege mode. I think he can just attack move to finish the game.
Yep, all the lurkers are dead now. And there are 2 sunken colonies in the main base again. But no, we see the GG.
GG.
That was a good game.
So that was good. That was good.
Yeah, Kunata did manage to hold off that early aggression, and then we saw Zookeeper just...
Yeah, we saw
Oh.
some really good Marine and SCV micro holding off the early speedlings.
Yeah, and that's exciting. We're gonna go to game 3 now. It's both of our series have gone to game 3 so far.
Yeah, very close matches. We might see Zookeeper go back to a more normal 12-hatch opener.
Yeah, let's see what's the response. And even though, as I said, Samyang Fire seem to be the favorite so far, with everything we see, that all the games so far have been pretty close.
Yeah, I think there have been a lot of close games in CPL this whole season, I think. I know all of my series have been 2-1s that I've played in, so...
There we go.
in the...
So, wait, is that... Oh no, wait, that's late. Oh, that's correct, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, so at the bottom left we have Kunata spawning in the navy color again as Baron fighting for Passion Daddies. And you can have the pleasure of introducing the Zerkler, because I have no idea what to call this color.
So in the upper right, we have Zookeeper in a... I forget what color this is. It's sort of a pale, sort of a peach kind of color. Playing Zerg for Samyang Fire.
It's white-pink to me, but...
White-pink.
Yep.
Yeah, there's so many colors now in Remaster.
Albert says it's tan.
Is this tan?
Could be.
Well, I blame my monitor. My laptop is very old, and I think the screen colors are starting to die.
My graphics card drivers are not great, so I blame my laptop as well.
Oh my god, look at this scouting, this map hack. The drone went straight from the main to the main.
Yeah, well, what would have been really interesting is if we built a hatchery and the fog of war.
A proxy hatchery.
Definitely some map hacking would have been exposed.
Oh man, he lost the scouting drone immediately though. That's always feels so bad. That's the Zerg.
It's the second time that we see a Zerg player on playfields and they send their drone cross. Maybe you're just
to
doing
the
it wrong.
cross position.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. So
was that pool 9 gas again from?
No, this is just a standard 12 hatch, 2 hatch layer build, where it's 12 hatchery, 11 pool, 10 gas.
Right.
I think we're going to see a similar build to the first game, where Zookeeper went for a 2 hatch muta into lurker transition, which is still very unusual to me against mech.
Yeah, Konata definitely loves it.
Konata does never get scanners, it seems, so this is sort of a stylistic hard counter, I think.
But he's currently not mining any gas, so he only mined enough for his factory and then he stopped.
Mhm.
It's almost like he's playing PvP at this point.
I think this is standard for the factory expand, because you want your expansion to come down around P30, and it's basically right on time.
I thought you keep one on gas.
Yeah, I think you keep one on gas. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, here he goes back to mining gas. Very standard. And then Konata actually has not yet scouted the Zerg, so this is really dangerous to have your first Marine out just completely blind.
Yeah, I mean, he built one Marine, then he floated his barracks. I think he got the 1-1-1 build wrong. It's not you build one of every unit, it's you build one of every production facility.
Well, he's been going for the 5-pack Goliath build, where and a 1-1-1 gets early wraith out usually around like 5 minutes. Is the wraith timing. This looks very similar to game 1 so far.
Let's see that Vulture can. Why are you fighting on the Launcher? Just run in. Okay,
so the Sunkens came up, but all these lings, it's just such an investment. You never want to have to make this many lings. And also the standard response against factory expand is just one sunken colony. So I think economically already the Zerg is pretty far set back.
Yep, and this will definitely be the Goliath build again. We have the Armory and we have the Goliath range being researched.
It's not going to be easy for the Zerg player to hold off the first Goliath push, especially with the extra sunken and all these lings being made, I think. Unless he can get the lurker out in time, like game 1.
We have this Fire and the Hydrogen again. With double Evo chamber.
Double Evo chamber. So this is probably just making enough mutas to scout the Terran, and then just going pure Hydra to try to stop the push.
We had some Lingron by that almost killed the mech army, but the power of mech you can just repair.
Right. This is interesting. We see range coming in first, which is not the preferred upgrade against the mech.
Yeah.
You generally go speed first, but
I mean, you could do, as you said, the Hydra plus of the 2 hatcheries, but then you don't really want the layer. And you, out of all the maps that we had so far, I think Playfields is definitely the worst one if you want to pull the Hydra plus. I'm not sure.
I mean, the Hydras will do well against the Goliaths, but it's kind of interesting the Zookeeper didn't go for the Lurker upgrade first this game, because the previous 2 games he always went for the Lurker upgrade.
Yep, and now at 7 minutes, the Zergler's going for that second gas.
Oh, there's the Lurker upgrade. I knew Zookeeper has his style.
Yeah. And I mean, had the Terran seen that the gas was so late, using the wonderful thing called the scanner, he could have just not built all these turrets right now. Seems like Konata
the
just
Terran
wants
is definitely.
Yeah, it seems like Konata wants to play all these games without any academies being built.
No scanner, no academy.
His Marines are done. They don't need degrees.
So Zerg getting 3rd and 4th up, which is definitely what you want against the. You want as many bases as possible against mech, so you can go for you don't have to engage the army directly. You can just throw away your bases.
That Vulture's gonna scout all the Hydras. And that range upgrade almost paid off. Now he sees the double Evo chamber. I think why.
Yeah, so no Hydra speed coming in, which is a lot of slow Hydras today.
Yeah, but I am pretty certain that that number of gods can deal with many Hydras.
Right. The Hydras do pretty well into Goliath. A lot of it comes down to how you engage the Goliath ball.
Yeah.
But without Hydra's speed, it's going to be really hard to get a decent position. You see the lurkers.
Wow.
Coming
See
up.
what's being built under that turret in the main next to the armory.
Oh.
Konata's betraying
Not
his
as
own
adapting.
style.
He's adapting, and we're seeing the progression of style.
Yeah, we saw game 1 no detection as well, game 2 only silent vessels, and game 3
Right.
he's gonna have some scanners.
concept scanners. It's incredible. These.
But I think the academy now is blocking these Goliaths. So maybe
Yeah,
that's why he was
it's
not
a little-
building any academy. He's like, I don't need that.
Well, luckily Terrans could just float the factory. Save the units. So this is really interesting to me because if you look at the Zerg, if you look at how the Zerg is playing at the natural, this almost looks like a ZVP, where like, the Sim City and Sunkens and Lurkers, and I don't know if this is the right style to play against mech, because mech, the siege tanks will just tear through any sort of Lurker Sunken setup.
Yeah, I mean, now we have Hydras on the high ground, but it's just a numbers game here, really.
Really good trade though.
Yeah.
Zookeeper definitely wants to delay this push, because if this push arrives at the natural, I don't think he has a lot of answers. It's really good that he's holding this high ground, stall out the Terran.
These high grounds that are close to the natural on playfields make it so good for Terran mech.
Right, if the tanks
Every
can get
matchup.
there,
Yeah.
it's a nightmare to try to get out of your own base.
Yeah,
Really
so
good trade. So this is only like a control group of Hydras, and it's delaying the entire Terran army for almost like a minute.
Yeah, and it seems like the Terran's just saying fuck it and he's going around.
He realized that he doesn't have to actually go up that ramp.
Let's see if Zookeeper can do the same thing on the other high ground. Looks like no so far.
Yeah, this Terran army is so scary to engage as Zerg. I mean, you just can't push into tanks unless you have queens or mutas or something.
So Zerg's
Especially
response
because
right now is
they're
just
slow
building 3
Hydras.
lurkers. Yeah.
But where's the Hydra? Oh, Hydra speed has started. It's just too late. Terran's already.
I think
At
what
the map.
Zookeeper's thinking now is, yeah, I got this. I have some lurkers. He doesn't have any detection.
It's a really good backstab attempt, though. Oh, if
Can
he can
he kill
actually
that
kill that
scanner?
tank before it sieges.
If he can kill the Comsat station, I mean, that could be something.
True. Actually, this Zerg backstab is doing huge damage, and the Terran army is being whittled down. Wow!
Konata just left again.
Wow!
Man,
Wow!
Konata does like to leave his games like that.
Yeah, I mean,
It
the
was
Hydras
top
did a lot of
versus
damage.
bottom again.
Yeah, the Hydras did a lot of damage, but I think if you just pulled your SCVs back to your main, had a siege tank on the high ground, and just slowly pushed into the Zerg main, you definitely had a chance.
Yeah, but I mean, it's making it a good series. So far we have 1-1
Yeah,
for
it's
Passion
very
Daddies
close,
and
very
Samyang
close.
Fire. So we're gonna go into the TVP now. Probably your
Nice.
least favorite matchup.
I love watching TVPs actually. But,
Oh, you do.
one of my favorite matchups to play is PBT because it's just really fun to A move into Terran armies. I don't know
Yeah.
why I enjoy that, but
I like playing Protoss because A moving is pretty strong. Every player ever. Interesting. Okay, so we have BSL 9 least. So he tried to qualify for the BSL. Spawning here at the top of match point in the yellow hand. What is the Terrans player's name? Do you know this guy?
Slain, I believe he also has another handle on Discord, which I'm not 100% sure about. But for now, he'll be known as Slain, the teal Terran in the bottom left.
Yep, and let's see what Lace can do. One of the other very active casters for CPL.
Yeah, I've watched Lise cast a lot of games. He's been very active in the community. So for me, I really like Matchpoint just as a map. So I think any matchup I play on Matchpoint always feels very favorable to me. But how do you feel about Protoss vs Terran on Matchpoint?
It can really go either way. So I'm gonna say it's a balanced map. But yeah, the trouble with Matchpoint from the Protoss perspective, least is pulling his 12 Nexuses.
12 Nexus. Interestingly, we see Slain scouting his entire main base, the entire natural, and looking for every possible proxy position. But he's actually not looking behind the mineral line of the third, which is the most common proxy position, I feel.
Correct.
It's kind of interesting.
But a tip for all the Terran and Zerg players, if they're scared of Protoss cheese on 2-player map, especially, just go and scout the main. I mean, you will notice buildings being missing.
Right.
If the Protoss is cheesing.
Right.
But
he's certainly not gonna see buildings missing here with the 12 Nexus.
Yeah. He's gonna see a building being there that's not supposed to be there, but not any building missing.
So this just always feels really bad for the Terran player if you see that you've been so worried about a proxy and then it's just 12 Nexus.
Yeah, and the response is immediately so many SVs are being pulled.
Yeah, you see the bunker rush being prepared.
I think Least needs to go and attack. Yeah, he's doing a good job.
Right.
Yeah, I'll probably speak about PvT on this map in some other game because it's too much action right now. We see it. Slane doing a good job with killing off the probes, and Least needs more probes to defend this.
Yeah, it's just not enough probes.
Let's see what the Zealots can do, but I mean, SCVs are strong. Least has to respect that. Let's see.
man, the SCVs are actually killing probes in the main, but they need to be helping the Marines.
Yeah, they really need to finish that bunker. Because if that bunker is complete, it's so bad for the probes.
So the SCVs did actually kill 3 probes, so they're putting in work, but...
And the bunker is gonna finish. Yeah, the bunker is
and then,
done.
he has to repair, put the Marines in. Oh, but the health is too low.
There's just one Marine in the bunker. Okay, so seems like, I mean, given Slane did manage to kill a lot of probes with the SCVs.
Yeah, I mean, these SCVs have like 2 kills, another 2 kills. We've probably killed like 6 probes with just the SCVs.
Yeah, it's 13-18 right now in favor of Slane. But there are 4 SCVs that are not mining, so pretty much the income is the same, and Least is going for the counterattack. What I'd like to see here is Slane going for a vulture and sneaking it on the map to threaten a backstab.
I don't think Slane can hold this. He doesn't have a single Marine, he doesn't have a vulture, he has no units, he just has SCVs.
With the proper SimCity, but he doesn't have siege mode, it will be definitely very hard. Let's see how's the repair on that tank. Okay, so far he's using the SCVs to fight against the battle SCVs. Yeah.
I do like the...
There we go, he's repairing.
Oh, repair. Okay. Yeah, these Dragoons, though, are just killing so much.
If you can keep this tank alive...
Oh, no.
Just need a bit more SCVs to repair.
Yeah, even if the Terran holds this off perfectly, I think he's already behind just because the Protoss natural.
He is behind, but in the meantime, if you look at what's going on in the Least's main, he's not really doing anything, so he's not taking
another tank
full advantage of the situation.
So many SCVs killed. Oh, GG. Well played.
Yeah, good game. So Least managed to get that 12 next up and running.
Yeah, takes game 1 over Team Passion Daddies.
Oh, it's Denials he's Slane's AKA.
Denials plural. Oh. Let's see if Denials can pull it back and go 2-1-1. I'm not sure if Least's 12 next here was sort of like a gamble of I don't really want to play match point against the Terran on this map, so I'll try and do that, and if it works, I win. If it doesn't, well, tough luck. We will see. Least does have an account named 12 Nexus Only or something like that.
Definitely does like his 12 Nex. For a moment there, I thought they were playing on Whiteout.
On Whiteout?
Yeah, but it is Starcraft. So yeah, we have Least spawning here at the 5 o'clock position in the teal. Playing as Protoss for Passion Daddies. And at the 10 o'clock position we have Denials, aka Slane, playing in the blue for Team Samyang. Seemed like they had a bit of a latency issue in this game. But it's no fun playing on that. Like last week I had terrible internet connection, so I couldn't play any games. Because every game that I tried to play was like, if it was against Koreans because they're close, it was maybe turn rate 14 high,
Right,
which
right.
is definitely not what they want to play. If it was against anyone else, it'll be extra high turn rate 8, which is
That's really tough.
yeah. So why did you
So-
decide I didn't play any games?
So I practice all my Mutamicro on turn rate 14 intentionally because most of my CPL games are very low turn rate. But when I play on ladder, I get turn rate 24 obviously, and then I think I actually micromutas better now on laggy games because I just have so much more practice.
Yeah, there is some truth in what you're saying, because I remember like way back when I was doing, I think, exactly Vulture Micro, the games are pretty laggy, and I got better at controlling Vultures in lag.
Yeah, for sure. So no 12 Nexus this time, at least.
No, I mean, he's playing from BSL 90s, not from 12 only. And we're gonna have a bunker expand from the Terran player.
Possibly in anticipation of a 12 Nexus.
I don't know, but well, yes, that can be a good answer to 12 next, but I think honestly what he did with the pulling the SCVs and bunker rushing is the correct or even most of the times the winning answer against 12 next. It was
See,
just
the
that
classic gas rush.
SCVs decide to be fighting instead of building stuff.
Right.
Yeah. You don't really want to steal the Terran's gas if they're going for an early CC because, well, that happens. What the Niles is currently doing, they just take their the natural and they don't.
Right. It's just not that concerned.
So yeah, I mean, Least was definitely annoying. But it sort of is like similar to when Zerg players in PvZ take your gas. You're like, okay, I'll just build my simulator in the natural then.
Right.
Let's see. So, please did go for 2 gateways, which signals an aggression build.
Yeah, some kind of Dragoon pressure.
Yeah. What he is basically saying right now is I don't really look into expanding early. I want to do some damage with my Dragoons.
Right, well, Least is proxying a pylon right now in the main base of Slain.
Imagine if he just built a citadel and a gateway there.
Yeah, I mean, if he builds a gateway there and he goes for, any kind of like DT play, this is gonna be a huge hit.
That goon in the mineral line was attacking the probe
His
instead
own
of
probe
SCV.
for a little. Probe just not working hard enough.
Yep. But what the Niles did was very good because he came around the Protoss player's natural base at 420, which is about the latest that they will go if they are going for an orthodox build. That's the latest that went to throw their nexus down. So he definitely knows that something is going on, something's fishy, and we have Least building a gateway from that proxy pylon.
Yeah.
Just don't know if where the DT will spawn exactly. Because there
he
is
went for Robo, but
yeah. I mean, that will definitely be DTs from after that citadel finish.
Oh my god, is the bunker gonna go down? Oh my god, the bunker goes down.
And there are no tanks.
Yeah, just one Marine. There's nothing Slain can do. And GG.
Okay, so Slain there had all the information that he needed to prevent that from happening. maybe he's just not used to players doing that specific strategy. But it was 2 very fast games from Leist, and he's bringing a point back on the Passion Daddies board. So we have 2-1 for Passion Daddies already. Just like that, Series 3 was a bit of a robbery there.
It's looking pretty good.
And now we're gonna go against. We're gonna go Mech versus Intact. Another 2P. Let me update the scores and confirm the scores. Oh, I have not updated the scores. That's how fast the games work. So it is 0-0 right now. And we have Mech here fighting for Passion Daddies. And Intact going for Samyang Fire.
Sounds good.
So let's see another PvT on match point. Maybe this time we get to see a longer game on match point and we can talk about the PvT on this map.
Okay, so in the upper right-hand corner, we have Intact playing for Samyang Fire. And in the bottom left, we have Mech in Purple Terran playing for Passion Daddies.
That's correct. But yeah, what I was saying before about match point in PvP is it is a good map because you have so many counter-attack possibilities because of the variety of ways that you can get. But there are 2 crucial points that the Terran, if the Terran player holds, it's just nightmare for the Protoss. And one of them is obviously the 2 chokes near your natural. If Terrans have access to that and or have control over that, you're basically dead. And the other main position is the middle. Because all the armies, no matter what the chosen path were, need to go towards the like from the using the middle of the map. So if you can hold that as well, it's also very strong. So it is definitely good for the Terran from that perspective. But what I think makes it a balanced map for this matchup is the fact that Terran's base is so big that they can't really afford to be throwing ring turrets in their main base. And you have so much high ground at the main base, so that recall play is really strong on this map. So that's pretty much how the Protoss players respond to the Mech player.
Right.
So your aim as a Terran on this map is get control at one of these crucial points, and the Protoss player's response is, well, A, prevent that from happening, and B, if that ever happens, try to abuse recall and the strength of recall on that map. So I'm really looking forward to a more standard and longer game on match point.
Yeah, all of the PvTs we've seen so far have been relatively very, very short games.
Yeah, all the 2 PvTs that Least played. Could be the player, not the matchup. We don't know that yet. Okay, so that probe is just being annoying in the main base and scouting for as long as possible. And that is gonna be an 18 next? Is that even a thing? Seems like it. Oh, the SCV is blocking the Nexus. And now the Protoss is regretting not building the Dragoon. Okay, so now we see the Dragoon in production. And he has 400 Miros again. Okay, so 21 next. That's a bit more standard, even though...
Or standard after the Dragoon.
Yeah, usually you want to build your Dragoon and have your gun range already started if you're going for a 21 Nexus. But on the other side, in the Terran's main base, the probe was alive for long enough and was harassing even the SCVs at the gas, so we do know that he was keeping an eye on the number of SCVs in that gas, and he saw that the Terran did not really pull any SCVs off gas, so
Right.
even though he didn't see the second factory being thrown down, he should know that it's 2-fac that's coming his way.
Right. It should be some kind of early aggression.
Early aggression definitely, and the only two builds that Terran players can do if they keep 3 on gas is either 2-fac, which we see and is the more common one, this Terran can do, and the other one is go for a very fast voucher drops.
For dropship play, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, given that 2-fac is 80% of the time when you see 3 SCVs on gas, you should just assume it's 2-fac and try to counter that.
Right.
We see the Protoss player throwing down a third gateway, and that's a valid response for the 2-fac, but with this response you definitely need to have good micro, because the Terran player will have mines.
Right.
And if you go for the 3 gates early on, you don't go for an observer. If you don't go for an observer, you better snipe all these mines very effectively. And so far we can see that Intact is in fact handling the mines, and it's not letting the Terran player move out of the map.
Yeah. I think it's super important for the Protoss player to slow down the Terran as he moves across the map.
Yeah. Let's see though, that's just 3 goons, and with these voucher reinforcements that are now coming in, I think the Terran player can just A move. Give Protoss on their own medicine. Or a A move. But Intact is going for a robotics facility and for a very fast Citadel of Dune. I don't know if that's going to be for 2-base Arbiter, or if he just wants to do DT drop.
Oh, one Dragoon goes down.
Dragoon does go down, and the Protoss army is split. He really needs to make use of that high ground advantage right now. He didn't, and he'll need some good micro if he wants to stop that. He's not using all. Okay, so now he just killed the third Dragoon, his third gateway, but he was just building 2 Dragoons. And we see the Protoss army being picked apart in the middle of the map. That's definitely not what you want. But he has delayed the 2-fac push for so long that I
he
think
definitely bought a lot of time.
Yeah. He should be fine. Let's see. Obviously Siege is very strong, and let's see if the Terran can lay down some mines and Siege.
Oh no, this mine.
I like the 2 Dragoons in the back, backstabbing the reinforcements.
Solo, so good.
They killed it one tank already, but with all these 8 goons, I think he can crush that army in the middle, especially because he sees there are no vultures. And the Terran player does recognize that and wants to pull back. Okay, so let's see what the observer status is. Observatory is still being built, so we don't have any observers on the map. And that Citadel, it turns out that it was just for the cell speed upgrades.
Oh no, the Dragoons got on the tanks.
The Dragoons got on the tanks, but the Vultures did their job and laid down a lot of mines near the Protoss third.
I was gonna lose every single tank here though. So painful.
Yeah, Meg just needs to utilize the mines a bit better, but that was a huge mine hit. It killed 2 Dragoons.
That was a good mine hit.
Basically another mine like that and Protoss would have no army. We see double forge from the Prox player. Double forge and Zealot legs. It's definitely an interesting build. I think what Intact's game plan here will be is to just make one very early army with a Zealot heavy one, then just try to shove all the Zealots in the Terran's face and try to win that way. I'm not quite sure how effective that will be, but let's see.
You know, that's exactly how I like to play PBT. It's very Zealot heavy, and you just attack move and hope for the best.
Build units and go.
Build units and go. You know, I don't need Arbiters, I don't need Reavers, I don't need DTs,
just gateway, man.
It's definitely the most manly way to play Protoss, for sure.
I mean, he is going for a 4th Nexus, which I'm kind of surprised in his game choice so far. Is that 4th Nexus will definitely not be operational in time when these 1-1 upgrades hit. But maybe he just wants to go for the super long game. Because we see him building a Templar Archives right now.
It's just covering all his base.
It was, let's say, an alternative route to get to this stage of the game, but that in the middle engagement is very big.
Really good micro there with the vultures. All 5 dragoons.
Yeah, vultures do like to take advantage of stray dragoon armies like that. And now if they lay mines close to the gateways, that will be very, very bad for them.
Yeah, so damaged.
He is picking some probes, so that's already good.
Yeah, Vulture's doing a lot. I mean, this group already killed 5 dragoons, a bunch of probes.
Yeah, and he got like 5 to 6 probes in that engagement, definitely worth it for the Vulture group. And but the Terra has got a lot of SCVs to do that, because despite all the losses of the pros, we can still see that the pros player is ahead in the worker count.
Right.
And I think that early aggression and seeing that there's no static D in the procs main allowed the Terran player to go for that dropship, and now he will go for some vulture drops. So I definitely like that, but the dropship did not really take the vultures. So, okay, now the dropship is being loaded. Rotsplayer is trying to retake that high ground where all the dragoons were slain.
This could be a big drop, because I don't think the Protoss is going to know about this until it lands.
Yeah, and that's exactly what the Terran player needs to, because like he's so the lack of defenses and the SimCity in the Protoss mains, and he's now punishing that. Very good play. So vultures have been dropped. Let's see what they can do in the main base. So far, the good reaction from the Protoss player pulling these
really fast,
immediately.
Really fast pull.
And now the vultures are laying down their mines close to the gateways, and on the other side of the map we do have some dragoons denying the third base from the Terran, and these vultures still have some mines. He needs to lay them down if he wants to make full use of the vultures. But I mean, vultures are pretty strong anyway, so do you really need to lay down your own? That Zealot close to the... if only he had laid a mine, yeah.
Oh, he laid a mine. Oh.
The Zealots managed to kill the mine before it...
Just in time.
Yeah, if he had laid down earlier when he was close, when he was in that mineral line, that would have been huge.
Right. So actually, the Vulture drop was okay, but now the Protoss is on a healthy 4 base, and I think the Terran really needs to do more damage because it looks like Intact is actually setting up for a 5th base.
Where is he set up for the 5th base?
On the 6 o'clock? I mean, he hasn't started yet. But...
Right. Yeah, I missed that. Okay, so Max saw that the 3rd base, the mineral only was denied, so he's going for that top left base. Let's see if he can get that. But currently, like, we see that the Terran has been cutting a lot of SCVs, and his main base is undersaturated right now.
Yeah, just not a lot of SCVs.
I mean, there are quite a few in his natural, but
yeah, if you just send like maybe like 7 or 8 back to the main.
Yep. And now he's going for that 5th base.
Protoss attack again. Terran natural.
Terran.
It's really hard to push through that choke point.
Yeah, you just can't play the make units and go.
Well, he is denying the Terran 3rd base, so it's good.
So the 2 forges are paying off. The first player is already at 2-2, while the third player
really
is
good
at
upgrades.
1-0.
Really good upgrades. I think 2-1 should kick in for Terran really soon. But... we see the Arbiter Tribunal going up.
Okay, so the Terran player seems to have secured that mineral only. But there's 5 cannons walking in on that 5th base.
At the 6 o'clock, yeah. Protoss pushing in. It looks very dangerous.
Yeah, I mean these Zealots do manage to connect on top of the...
Yeah, only 4 tanks, and the siege just wasn't in time.
Oh, it's a very good
nice storm. Nice storm. One more.
He has
one more storm.
One. He has... well, that was a whiff. Only hitting 1 tank.
Yeah, but again, the Terran 3rd base was delayed. Perhaps not the most cost efficient, but with 5 bases now,
I mean,
the
when you are holding 5 bases, you can definitely be cost inefficient.
Right.
If that's the
just
length
want
of the
to
turn.
prevent the critical mass from the Terran.
Yeah. Realistically, what he wants to do right now is exactly that. Just don't let the Terran have access to any more income, and then you will win inevitably.
Right, eventually. I really like that Intact is mixing in some storms with his army.
Yeah, Storm is definitely underused ability in PvP.
Yeah, just such good storms here. Doing so much damage, taking out every tank.
Yeah, it's basically that Protoss army was victorious because of the storms.
Yeah.
So he does not have any Arbiter yet, even though there's 2 on the way, but he does have access to Storm, which is an alternative.
Oh, there's only 1 tank with the Terran.
That you can. Okay, so if there's still anyone in the chat, do let me know. But Ugnas has unfortunately had to go, so and my stream is experiencing some issues. As soon as I started saying that, like I can now see that the stream quality should be fine. So I might try to cast another series, but if the issue with the packet drops and the quality continues, we might need to do that or finish the stream tomorrow. I can see that Bonnet is streaming anyway, so maybe you like to prefer that. But right now I see no issues with my stream, so let's take advantage of that and cast another series. And if the quality goes bad again, I will stop the stream. Okay, so with that in mind, and again without a co-caster, but let's try and cast one more series. So what we've got right now is Samyang Fire versus Passion Daddies, and the score is 2-2. We are halfway through our series right now. And we'll see if next series in my broadband connection will allow me to cast the next series. Okay. Of course, I have to log in again with my Battle.net, so bear with while I do that. So next series is NCX versus West Coast Marine. West Coast Marine, quite a good Terran player from team. I think he is Samyang fighter. Keep an eye on my stream statistics in the background. But yeah, we have map is match point again. We have our Terran player West Coast Marine spawning in the bottom left, in the yellow, and in the bluish color we have NCX spawning in the top. There's an interesting thing about NCX actually. Just letting Ugnas know that I'll do another series. Yeah, there's a funny thing about NCX actually, because he is usually a random player, but random is not really allowed in CPL unless you are doing random by choosing your matchups. So no true randomness is allowed, but you can pick from your favorite matchups. The thing is, NCX does not have 8 favorite matchups and he does not really care what he's playing. So what he asked instead was to be assigned as a Protoss player. Possibly could have been his main race before he became random, or just the race that he has the most experience with, we don't know. There's that. So we have the Terran player going for forward tracks, getting that gas just so it doesn't get stolen. But honestly, everything so far signals a fast expansion build, and if you are fast expanding as a Terran, as we covered earlier with Bugna, so you don't really care if the Protoss player is going to steal your gas. We do have a forward gateway though from NCX, so we're gonna see some aggression. So definitely that SimCity will pay off. That West Coast Marine is currently doing, and the probe being extra annoying, harassing that SV that's trying to build the refinery. And now he sees the forward, so he should know that there's my bad. There's some aggression going out, but we also see that the Protoss is not really producing any zealots. But he just built that forward gateway and he's not using it. Finally, we have a zealot in production right now. Let me make sure that everything's running smoothly. It seems like it so far. Again, if there's issues with the stream, let me know in the chat. I like the denial of that. Like West Coast Marine built a supply depot to deny the Protoss player from taking a super fast Nexus. Now that the Protoss has dealt with it, we see the Nexus being thrown down. But in these type of situations, okay, that's an interesting choice to build your factory over here because, well, first, it's a forward factory, so you are building. I wonder if he's just doing it to gate West Coast Marine that it's a command center that's being built. I'm not really sure. But yeah, well, it's forward factory, so your rallies will be faster, but at the same time, building it over here is getting in the way of your command center. Let's see how that Marine micro looks like. Okay, that's good so far, and NCX can definitely see that it was a factory, not a command center being built there. But yeah, so one of the responses is going for a command center, which he's not really going for, he's choosing the other one. When Protoss players go for fast Nexus, their cyber core and everything else, like their tech is very delayed. So as a Terran player, you can abuse that. That Zealot is still alive in the main base. Seems like West Coast Marine is trying to find it because it's currently in the fog of war. There's already one Dragoon knocking on his door. And I'm worried about West Coast Marine over here. Let's see. That one Zealot finally being taken care of. But there's still one goon. One goon against two Vultures and two Marines should be in trouble. So he's going for Starport. I think West Coast Marine does not really have any plans for a later game. He just wants to end the game right now. He was starting to ping me as I've been casting for 3 hours and being self-isolating myself way too good. Practice social distancing, even online. Don't talk to anyone except you and people in the chat. Well, what do we have here from the Templar? We do have add-on on the starport, so that will signal some drop play, and we do have some mines being researched, so it could be very deadly drop. But from what do we have from Protosite? We don't have any detection, which means that the mines will be very deadly and painful to deal with. But we do have Citadel of Odin and Templar Archives and some Dark Templars on the way. So, what's the detection like from the Terran side? I think everything that Terran has for detection, and even though it's like a pseudo detection, is these mines. And you can't really say that West Coast Marine can tell that it's a Dark Templar on the way, because like the Tribunes are vigilant to snipe the mines every time anyway, but now he knows. And with no detection whatsoever from the Terran player, I think that might be the game, because yeah. Okay, so West Coast Marine throws it out and says GG. So good game indeed. We have 1-0 for NCX. Our Protoss players taking the lead here. And let's go into game number 2. So game 2 is on Calcross. Let's see what these two can do on Calcross. Can NCX go ahead and bring back the advantage that Russian Daddies used to have, but is now non-existent? Or can West Coast Marine take it back and reverse this series, putting up Samyang Fire in the lead? So maybe it's just 3 hours of casting is enough and I should stop after the 3rd hour. I'm not quite sure if I should do that. It's like my brain is lagging. I'm starting to do stupid mistakes. Anyway, enough about my rant. I'll definitely finish that series, and if my connection looks good, I will do another series, but I think that will be it for today. Okay, so we have Scout after Pylon. Seems like it's a popular thing these days. I thought it was a very fringe build introduced by Korean Pro, but seems like there's quite a few players, at least in CPL, now doing it. So yeah, let's see what NCX can do. Is there gonna be a gap steal? Oh wow, that SV got that guy so fast. Usually if the SV comes from the bottom, it needs to float over here until it starts building the refinery, but it didn't seem like it this time. So a good tip for Terran players, if you are afraid of your gas being stolen, just get an SV on top of your gas, because from the top the SV starts to build immediately. Okay, so this game we're gonna have way more of an orthodox opening from NCX. Let's see. Okay, so I said that, but we see that the Cyber is very delayed here. And oh no, Cyber is okay. It's just that he chose to go for a Zelt. He seems to like his aggression, and I mean there's no reason, especially on this map, because there's no ramp, so your results can do a lot. And we saw last time that West Coast Marine did give in a bit to the pressure. He lost way too many Marines to the initial Zelts. There's 4 popes mining gas right now. So NCX, you should fix that. But first Zealot's already across the map. Second Zealot's trying to deal with the SCV, trying to push it back. SCV is being annoying, trying to deny an expand again, but there will be no expand coming in from Protoss player, really. So yeah. Let's see what the Marine micro is this time. Yeah, so NCX microing a bit too heavy for getting to macro. Like his production facilities, and the Marine micro this time is way better than last time. We see 2 factories. Excuse me. 2 factories seems to be a popular build as well in the CPL series today. Oh wow, a 3rd factory, so Terran's gonna be very aggressive. Basically 2-fac is a very all-inish build, and you need to do a lot of damage from the 2-fac in order to recover and play a macro game, but it is possible. But with 3 factories, it is quite hard to do that. But at the same time, we see that the Protoss player also does not really have any intentions for playing the longer game, and is proxying robotics facility. Also deciding to throw down their support bay over here under the robo facility. But I'm not quite sure if this is a good decision. It's like you can put it at home, and you don't risk the fact that you need to rebuild your hobo as well after the proxy gets dealt with, if it does. And we should be able to see these 3 factories kicking in pretty soon, and allowing the Terran player to have an overwhelming advantage of units. But it seems like the hiding place for the robo facility was very good, and NCX is not able to see the robo. The West Coast Marine is not able to see NCX. But will that matter at all? He's building a river out of his robo, but right now it's all about this. Like, can the Terran army brute force its way into the process natural? And that time I thought was waiting for reinforcements, and that's why it was not going there to do anything, but it seems like it was just not microed or forgotten, another control group or something. But I think we see that this is way too many Terran units right now in the Protoss player, and the only chance of XCX, I don't want to say that he has no chance, but it seems like his main base is pretty bad. So he will need the most godlike scarabs ever if he wants to come back, and not only killing the SCVs, but coming back to defend as well. It is possible with slightly more minerals, but I don't think that NCX can pull a miracle. Let's see, maybe. But no, he decides to give up, and yes, it was pretty over. So recognizes that and throws down the GG, and we go to game number 3. So it's really close series. Every single game, except the one with least, has gone to game number 3 so far. And every single series has gone to game number 3, and the score is right now tied up at 2-2 for Samyang Fire and Passion Daddies. So we have NCX spawning in the bottom right hand position in red, fighting 4 Passion Daddies, and we have West Coast Marines spawning at the top left position in the blue, playing as their 4 teams Samyang. Okay, so it is getting pretty late, so it's past like 4 hours of stream already, so I'm saying it now, I will end the stream after this series, and I will probably continue tomorrow. We have another scout after found. But yeah, I do not want to leave you guessing who's gonna take the series or who's gonna take the advantage. So we'll see if Passion Daddies or Samyang Fire can pull ahead in this game. Like literally, that's the very deciding game. It's set 3 out of from that series, and the score is even right now. So we're gonna see who's the team that will be ahead. And then tomorrow we'll see if that defending team can stay ahead and pull some more victories under the belt for their respective team to help their chances of winning that whole week or in the CPL, or if the other team, the underdog team, will manage to pull it back and possibly take the advantage. So right now what we've seen so far is that just by the way of casting the games, we've seen that Passion Daddies had advantage over Samyang Fire. So right now they're our champions, quote unquote. But they are pretty tied up with Samyang Fire because it's too even right now. That probe being very annoying, it already forced an SCV to be pulled from building the construction. And we have another Citadel opening. I wonder if that thing is just becoming a build, like very fast result speed. But, like my bold predictions, there's a very bad Protoss player would be that it's no, because like you're skipping all your detection. Okay, so it's just DPs. Not gonna be Zelfy. But from all these games, from our previous Protoss player, I was starting to wonder, is that really a thing? And it seems to be what he was doing after Pylon 9 and then Scout. And we see Pylon 9 and then Scout from NCX as well. Maybe, but possibly not. Okay, so Terran player is going for a different kind of aggression this time. We'll be adding a Starport. That Dragoon, very crucial here. Can see that there is no command center in the making right now. So if I was NCX, I would have been suspicious from the Terran player doing some cheesy or very aggressive strategy again. But at the same time, we saw NCX denying the scout for the Terran player, so the Terran player could be thinking that the Protoss player is also going for something very cheesy and aggressive, and you can see that in fact both of them are. We do have the dropship on the way, and we do have voucher upgrades on the way. So we'll have voucher top versus DTs, and usually at high levels, these two strategies, when they face each other, it's an advantage for the third player, because you don't really have enough at your ult to defend against the vulture drops, and the mines near your base are enough to take care of the DTs. See, so he knows that there's DTs right now, so he will need to lay down some mines. He decided to just hold the door. Okay, he got 3 mines. And the mines can't even... This is mine type, not just solid type. There's still 1 DT in the main base. But third player is building... Oh no, you don't want that. You don't want... Oh. For some reason that only killed 1 SE, but it could have been a disaster. Let's see what the counter aggression from the third player is gonna do. So this thing right now is very good that he's doing, laying down some mines on top of the run to prevent any reinforcement from coming back. And if he lays down some mines near the gateways, in order to prevent these two dragoons that just spawned from dealing with the vultures, that would have been, I'm gonna say, almost game-ending damage, because like the pros player currently has 10 probes, and if the third player had laid down these mines over here, pros player would have had no probes right now. The DTs though are bringing havoc to the main base. He is very committed with these DTs, and West Coast Marine says GG. I think also a bit of a premature GG. But that's it, we have Passion Daddies getting ahead in the series tonight. And as I said, unfortunately that will be it. I will cast the last 3, the remaining 3 series from that tier tomorrow or later on. So big thumbs up for joining me today. Thank you, very much appreciated. If you like the stream, do give me a follow. I would very much like that. And yeah, hopefully you can bring some more players if you like what you see to see the casts. I am trying to make a cast every single week, at least one, for the CPL series, and I will be back tomorrow with finishing this series. So again, thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.